The phantom menace. Their emergency sirens echoed through the crystal halls of New Arcadia, the Federation's most advanced research colony. Dr. Melissa Foster ran through the corridors as explosions shook the floating city. Through the transparent walls, she could see the impossible sight above them. Ships unlike anything in known space hung in the purple sky like dark wounds against the stars. These vessels defied every law of physics the Federation understood. They were black as the void between galaxies, absorbing light rather than reflecting it. No engines were visible, yet they moved with deadly precision. Strange tendrils of dark energy reached down from their hulls, dissolving buildings into nothing. All civilians to the evacuation centers, came the announcement over the colony speakers. But Dr. Foster knew there would be no escape. These attackers had appeared without warning, bypassing every sensor and defense system. The colony's shields, powerful enough to stop asteroids, meant nothing to these mysterious invaders. 3 systems away, Captain Elena Rodriguez stood in the observation deck of the diplomatic vessel Harmony's Edge. Her brown eyes reflected the flames consuming the Kepler mining station on the planet below. This was the 7th attack in 2 weeks. 7 peaceful worlds, each one left as a lifeless shell. Elena touched the small device behind her ear, activating her secure communication link. "Control, this is Phoenix," she said quietly, using her code name. "The pattern is confirmed. They are systematically destroying our most isolated colonies first." A familiar voice responded in her earpiece. "Understood, Phoenix. How long before they reach the core worlds?" Elena watched another building collapse under the dark energy beams. "At this rate, Admiral Chen, maybe 3 weeks. The Federation Council is panicking. They are calling an emergency session." "Then it's time, Admiral." Marcus Chen replied from his hidden command center thousands of light years away. "Prepare for Phase 1 activation." The Galactic Federation's Emergency Council chamber buzzed with fear and confusion. Representatives from 12 different species had gathered on the neutral station of Concordia Prime. The massive circular chamber floated in space, its crystal dome showing the stars beyond. Ambassador Thylex of the Altian Republic stood at his designated podium, his tall blue form trembling with rage. "These creatures attack without warning, without communication. Our most advanced chips cannot even detect them until they begin their assault." High Counselor Zephyr nodded gravely from the center platform. The ancient being had led the Federation for over 2 centuries, but had never faced a threat like this. "We have lost contact with 19 colonies. Our analysis suggests these invaders possess technology beyond our understanding." The insect-like delegate from the hive worlds clicked her mandibles anxiously. "Our warrior castes have thrown everything at these phantoms. Energy shields, matter disruptors, quantum torpedoes. Nothing affects them. They simply absorb our attacks and grow stronger." Captain Elena Rodriguez sat in the small human section near the back of the chamber. Humanity was the newest member of the Federation, having joined only 30 years ago. Most species still saw them as primitive newcomers who had barely mastered interstellar travel. Elena listened as the debate continued. Some wanted to evacuate the core worlds. Others suggested surrendering and hoping for mercy. A few brave souls spoke of a final desperate battle, knowing it would likely mean extinction for their civilizations. What none of them knew was that Elena had been listening to similar discussions for years. Not as a diplomat, but as an operative in humanity's most classified program. While the Federation saw humans as harmless explorers, Elena and thousands like her had been preparing for exactly this type of crisis. The Voidborn, as human intelligence had designated them, were not unknown to Earth's secret services. Deep space monitoring stations had been tracking their movements for over a decade. Humanity had watched as these creatures consumed 3 distant galaxies, leaving nothing but empty space in their wake. "What about the humans?" asked the crystalline delegate from Zephyr 7. "Your species has shown remarkable adaptability. Do you have any suggestions?" All eyes turned to Elena. She stood slowly, her simple uniform contrasting with the elaborate costumes of the other representatives. "Honored Council," she began, "humanity pledges its full support to the Federation. We may be newcomers, but we understand the value of working together." It was a carefully neutral response that revealed nothing. Elena had spent years perfecting the art of appearing helpful while giving away no real information. The other delegates nodded politely and returned to their discussions of evacuation routes and surrender terms, but Elena's words contained a hidden message for anyone who knew how to listen. Deep in space, at monitoring stations scattered across the galaxy, human operators began activating systems that had been dormant for decades. The Voidborn Fleet Commander, if such terms could be applied to beings of pure dark energy, surveyed the latest conquest from the bridge of its massive vessel. The creature had no name in any language known to organic life. It was simply the Hunger, an entity that consumed civilizations to fuel its expansion across the universe. The Federation's defenses had been as pathetic as expected. Their energy weapons fed its ship's power cores. Their shields provided no obstacle to its matter-consuming tendrils. Soon, this galaxy would join the countless others that had been devoured over the millennia, but something was different about this galaxy. Hidden among the standard energy signatures of the various species, the Hunger detected something unusual. There were power sources it could not identify, communication networks using unknown principles, and worst of all, the feeling that it was being watched. The Hunger dismissed these concerns. Every galaxy had its mysteries. Once the major civilizations were consumed, any remaining secrets would be revealed through the process of digestion. The Federation would fall within days, and then this galaxy would know the same silence as all the others. Back on Concordia Prime, the Council session continued through the night. Species after species presented their military capabilities, hoping to find some combination of forces that could stop the invaders. The mathematics were always the same. They could delay the inevitable, but not prevent it. Elena excused herself from the chamber as dawn approached. She walked to a secluded section of the station, where a small maintenance airlock provided privacy. With a gesture, she activated a holographic display that appeared in the air before her. Admiral Marcus Chen's weathered face materialized in the blue light. "Report, Captain. The Federation is collapsing," Elena said quietly. "They have maybe 48 hours before panic sets in completely. Some species are already preparing to evacuate their homeworlds." Chen nodded grimly. "The Voidborn have accelerated their timeline as well. Our deep space sensors show their main fleet moving toward the core systems. They are not bothering with the outer colonies anymore." "Are we ready, Admiral?" Chen's expression grew determined. "Project Sentinel has been ready for 15 years, Elena. Every human colony, every diplomatic post, every trade station has been part of the network. It's time to show the galaxy what we've really been doing all this time." Elena looked out through the small porthole at the stars beyond. Somewhere out there, the Voidborn were approaching. The Federation was preparing to flee or die. But they didn't know that humanity had been preparing for this day since first contact with alien life. "Initiate Phase 1, Elena said. "Phase 1. Confirmed," Chen replied. "The Silent Guardians are awakening." Asterisk. Secrets in the Shadows. Admiral Marcus Chen stood in the command center of Haven Station, humanity's most classified military installation. The station was hidden inside a hollowed-out asteroid in the Kuiper belt of an unremarkable star system. For 25 years, it had been the nerve center of humanity's greatest secret. The command center bustled with activity as officers from every human colony rushed to their stations. Screens lit up showing star maps, fleet positions, and energy readings from across the galaxy. Chen watched as decades of careful planning finally came to fruition. "Sir," called out Commander Sarah Vega from the communications console, "all Sentinel stations are reporting ready status. We have confirmation from 847 installations across the galaxy." Chen nodded with satisfaction. 847 hidden bases, each one disguised as something harmless. Research stations that were actually weapons platforms. Trading posts that concealed advanced sensor arrays. Even humble mining operations that served as ammunition depots for humanity's secret fleet. "What's the status of our embedded assets?" Chen asked. "All deep cover operatives are in position," replied Intelligence Director Thomas Park. "We have people in every major government, every military command, every research facility in Federation space. The aliens think they are working with human scientists and diplomats. They have no idea they are collaborating with our intelligence. Network. Dr. Sarah Kim approached the Admiral's command station. The brilliant scientist had spent her entire career developing the technologies that would make this moment possible. Admiral, the hybrid systems are performing beyond expectations. We've successfully integrated 11 different alien technologies into our weapons and propulsion systems. Chen smiled grimly. The beauty of being underestimated, Dr. Kim. While they thought they were teaching us their basic technologies, we were learning to combine them in ways they never imagined. The main display showed a tactical overview of Federation space. Red markers indicated void-borne positions, while blue dots represented known Federation assets. But scattered throughout the map were thousands of green indicators that no alien would recognize. Humanity's true military strength. Captain Elena Rodriguez's voice crackled over the secure communication system. Admiral, the Federation Council is in complete disarray. They are discussing full evacuation of the core worlds. Estimated timeline is 36 hours before total collapse of organized resistance. Understood, Elena. Maintain your cover for now. Phase 2 begins in 6 hours. Chen turned to his tactical officer, Commander Jake Morrison. The young officer had been raised on stories of Earth's ancient military traditions and had studied every human conflict in recorded history. Jake, are your strike teams ready? Morrison's eyes gleamed with anticipation. Sir, Task Force Prometheus is standing by. 200 ships, all equipped with the new hybrid drive systems. We can be anywhere in the galaxy within 3 hours. And the Aegis Prime? Construction completed last month, sir. She's the largest mobile platform ever built by any species. The crew is eager to test her capabilities against a real enemy. Dr. Kim activated a holographic display showing the massive battle station. The Aegis Prime was humanity's ultimate achievement, a mobile fortress the size of a small moon, bristling with weapons that combined technologies from across the galaxy. More importantly, it was completely invisible to alien sensors. The stealth systems are based on Altian phase-shifting technology, Dr. Kim explained, but we've modified it with Zephyrian quantum mathematics and Valdorian temporal mechanics. The result is a cloaking system that exists slightly outside normal spacetime. Chen studied the display with pride. How many people know the truth about what we've been doing? Approximately 50,000 humans across the galaxy, Director Park replied. Every one of them has been psychologically screened and is completely loyal to the mission. As far as everyone else knows, humanity is exactly what we appear to be, friendly newcomers who are eager to learn. The Admiral walked to the main viewing port, where he could see Earth in the distance. The blue planet looked peaceful and defenseless. Exactly as humanity wanted it to appear. But hidden beneath the oceans and inside the moon were weapon systems that could destroy entire fleets. Sir, called out the sensor operator, we are detecting massive void-borne fleet movements. They are converging on the Meridian sector. That's where most of the Federation's industrial worlds are located. Chen nodded. They are moving faster than we anticipated. Signal all units, accelerate timeline to immediate activation. Throughout the galaxy, humanity's hidden network began to stir. On the peaceful research world of New Geneva, Dr. Michael Torres received a coded message that transformed his botanical laboratory into a military command center. Walls slid away to reveal weapon storage and communication equipment. On the trade station Prosperity's Gate, Merchant Captain Lisa Chang activated hidden systems that converted her cargo bays into launch platforms for advanced fighters. Her crew, who had been playing their roles as simple traders for years, quickly donned military uniforms and prepared for combat, even on the diplomatic vessel where Captain Elena Rodriguez continued her masquerade. Hidden compartments opened to reveal advanced scanning equipment and weapons that no Federation species had ever seen. The void-borne fleet moved through space like a plague of shadows. Their ships left trails of absolute darkness behind them, creating scars in reality itself. The lead vessels had already begun their assault on the Meridian sector's outer defenses. The Federation's 6th Fleet, commanded by Admiral Thylex of the Altian Republic, moved to intercept. 150 of the Federation's finest warships arranged themselves in battle formation. Their energy shields glowed like small suns as they prepared to make their final stand. All ships, this is Admiral Thylex, came the transmission. Across Federation channels. Today we fight not just for our worlds, but for the very concept of civilization. Show these creatures that the galaxy will not yield without a fight. The Voidborn responded by simply existing. Their dark energy weapons reached across space, touching the Federation ships with tendrils of nothingness. One by one, the mighty vessels simply ceased to exist, absorbed into the hungry darkness, but something was different this time. As the Voidborn consumed the Federation fleet, they detected energy signatures that should not exist. Hidden among the dying ships were sensors of unknown design, recording everything. Admiral Chen watched the battle from Haven Station, his expression grim but unsurprised. The Federation forces are being destroyed as expected. But we now have complete data on Voidborn combat capabilities. Dr. Kim studied the incoming sensor data with fascination. Their dark energy weapons operate by creating localized spacetime distortions. But Admiral, I think we can counter them. How? Our hybrid shields use Mantaxi dimensional stabilizers combined with human quantum field generators. We might be able to create a resonance field that negates the distortion effects. Chen smiled for the first time in days. Dr. Kim, you may have just saved the galaxy. How long to implement? The Aegis Prime can be retrofitted in 4 hours. The rest of the fleet will take longer. Then we start with the Aegis Prime. Jake, prepare for immediate deployment. Commander Morrison saluted sharply. Sir, Task Force Prometheus is ready to show the galaxy what humanity can really do. Throughout Federation space, the news of the Sixth Fleet's destruction spread like wildfire. Species that had survived for millions of years began preparing for extinction. Some loaded refugee ships with their most precious artifacts. Others prepared to fight hopeless final battles, but in the hidden depths of space, humanity's true fleet began to move. Ships that had been waiting in dark nebulae for decades fired up engines that used principles no alien scientist understood. Weapons platforms disguised as asteroids began targeting sequences they had been calculating for years. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood in the Federation Council chamber as species after species announced their surrender or evacuation plans. She maintained her expression of concerned sympathy while listening to Admiral Chen's final briefing through her neural implant. Phoenix, in 6 hours the masquerade ends. Are you ready to reveal the truth? Elena touched the small device in her pocket. A homing beacon that would guide the Aegis Prime to this exact location. Admiral, I've been ready for 15 years. It's time to show them what Silent Guardians really means. The Voidborn commander felt a stirring of something it had not experienced in millennia, uncertainty. The energy signatures were becoming stronger and they were coming from everywhere at once. Hidden among every asteroid field, every nebula, every seemingly empty region of space, for the first time since beginning its conquest of this galaxy, the hunger realized it might not be the only apex predator in these stars. Something had been watching, waiting, and preparing. Something was about to show itself, and the Voidborn were about to learn why humanity had earned its place as the galaxy's silent guardians.